We were just talking inside about the importance of girthing up slowly. And the horse that Beth was just on is very sensitive to that. But we're just talking about preventing horses from getting girthy as well, that it's always a really good plan to start with the girth loose, to do it up slowly one side at a time. So like even in the cross ties, you can go back and forth, right? And then you can check it again before you get on. So you've walked your horse in, maybe walked her around for a minute, do it up another hole, and then check it once you've gotten on and walked for a bit as well. But that helps to prevent horses from getting so resentful and frustrated by being girthed up, right? When you crank, and I'm not saying this to you, I'm kind of saying it in general, right? We were just talking about this, but when a horse gets the girth cranked up a lot on one side and a lot on the other side, they never get that chance to kind of accept it, get used to it, right? It's more, it's a little more, the issue is more forced, and then sometimes the horses either get mad, frustrated, uncomfortable, whatever it is, and they start to see that girth and just get really unhappy. Okay, Ren, let's start. We're going to do a little combined flat work, pole work here. So I want to see, we're going to work a lot on bending in your warm-up. Okay, I want to see the bending work. So if we think about starting on a circle here with left bend, tell me what your bending aids are going to be on the left-hand circle.
As an aid for the horse, you can open up your left rein, and then inside leg, like a pole, and outside rein helping with guiding her.
Okay, yeah. So your wheel is turning slightly left, right? Yeah. There's different schools of thought on the inside rein being indirect, direct, or open. All three you can get bend in, right? For now, I think let's just think about direct rein. You don't need to widen it. The problem in my mind with an indirect rein is sometimes you get the horse's body going there and the neck going there, and it's not such a continuous feeling. Okay, so like you were saying, having both hands a little bit following the turn. When she's on the curve, you should have a gap with this rein, right? So that she's looking left, you've got this little gap between the neck and the rein. And then the outside rein is a direct rein as well, where it's not quite on her neck, right? It's here. It's not lying against her neck.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, you said the inside leg like a post. That's especially true if she wants to lean in, that helps to keep her upright, right? And then it's also your working leg to help create shape if she's lacking shape. Right? So if your legs are on and you enter the turn with your hands following and she's just following that bend nicely, you don't need to do anything, right? But if you enter the turn and she's stuck in her ribs, then sometimes that inside leg has to work them out. So what's the job of the outside leg in that scenario?
Not letting her drift out.
Right, yeah. So the outside leg is keeping the hips on the turn, right? Not letting the hind legs swing out. The outside leg also controls how big your circle is in a way, right? Because if it wasn't there, she would just continue to go like this, right? So the outside leg kind of defines where your circle is going as well. Okay, so let's start with that on the left rein down here. You're going to trot a circle or two, or however many it takes to get a good bend and a good trot. Then we're going to come square turn, trot over these trot poles, and then I want you to do the leg yield out to the rail. Okay, then we're going to pick up the canter, canter down the wall, and go back onto your circle and canter here. Show me the good left bend in the canter circle, and then we'll go back to trot and repeat our exercise again. Okay, so first order of business is to get a good trot that you like and that you can work with, right? Good rhythm to work with. Good, so just stay on the circle here until she gets a little more level. You feel how she's a little fussy, kind of quick, slow, and looking around. So we want her to be looking more consistently ahead of herself, Ren. There, she's looking to the outside of the ring. So increasing your inside leg and rein aids to get her to bend, to contract the left side of her body and lengthen the outside right side of her body. So she's going through that turn looking into the corner, right? You need to really make a change here and get her to shift her focus inwards. Dig in with your left leg, play with the left rein, there it's coming. Now keep her looking inside of her circle now. There we go, big difference. One more circle like that. So the outside leg is in place, the outside rein is in place, the inside aids are working through the bend. That's right. Much better. Go to your trot pulls. So we're doing the trot pulls, then the leg yield, and then the canter. Steady. Okay, let's not canter yet, Ren. Sorry, I'm too late. Just trot again, circle where you can, and let's do another trot leg yield on the other side, because that was next to no leg yield that time, right? So look now for your turn. Straight first. Now inside leg sends her sideways. Be ready with your outside rein if she speeds up. Good, a little more, get to the wall. So that, I want to see that happen more efficiently. Now circle and show the left bend. So in a leg yield, she should be crossing her legs over. So you need a steep enough, see you later, Baggy. Are you out of here? Okay, bye. You need a steep enough angle that she's actually stepping under her belly with her inside hind leg and stepping across towards the wall as well with her inside front leg. Good, go to your pulls. Rhythm. Now when you add the inside leg, she should not speed up. Looking sideways to the wall, slow down, slow down. This is interesting, Ren, because she had another lesson earlier today and she was doing these leg yields tick-tock like right across. So there's something going on here with your aid that's not getting the job done. Get stronger with your inside leg and add the break of the outside rein. So that as soon as you land off these poles going straight, each step is a sideways step. Forward and sideways. Yeah, if she's still really sweaty. My gray one, I think, is there. Yeah. Yes, please. Are there back straps on that gray one?
I think there's an under the tail thing.
Okay, that should be all right. Okay, Ren, go to your pulls. Good left bend there. Make sure your rhythm is not changing. And it half halt there. Oh. Now tick, tock, sideways, 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 sideways. Okay, walk a sec. Let me get on there. Hey, Blaze. I saw you going sideways this morning. Okay, so I just need to feel out what it is that she's not giving it to you now. Right, because it's not enough to say push harder. Right, you shouldn't have to push all that hard if she's tuned in. supposed to be beside me. Oh. I'll go inside, Maya. So Blaze and I just need to have a little talk here before I ask her to go sideways. There we go. Good girl. Okay, so first problem I feel is that she sped up over the poles and got a little heavy in the mouth. And there I just corrected her because she's leaning into my inside leg. So we're just kind of working through some evasions that are happening. Good girl. Wanted to speed up there, and as she did, I closed both reins and kind of especially closed the outside rein. Good girl. So as you can see there, Ren, it shouldn't take her very long to get to the wall. Good girl. Okay, so the big thing that I felt right away was that she ran through my hand at the poles, right? And then because she's running through my hand, she's not interested or willing to listen to me asking her to do something different, like go sideways. I'm just going to make sure that we have a good response this direction as well, and then we'll get you right back up here. Not because I want her to go faster. I'm clucking at her there because she's pulling against my right hand and pushing against my right leg. And as I'm asking her with my leg and rein to get off, and she's not listening, I just add the cluck to sort of punctuate my request. Right? That only works if you've got your contact really established so that you're just asking And then it's just a way to increase the pressure, and then as soon as your horse responds, the pressure gets lighter. Let's see. Good girl. Okay, so she was good and responsive there off the right leg. So let's get you back up here. So again, we're going to start with the bend, right? That's a test. Is she listening? And then she's not to speed up over those poles. Do you want to leg up? Down, up. We'll go down, up. Ready? Down. Okay, so left hand trot circle. Quality trot, quality bend. If you don't like it, keep at it. And then I talked to her a little bit coming to the poles. I reminded her to stay slow, to stay rhythmic. And then when I added that inside leg, I made sure that she didn't speed up. Good. Good. Continue after this next circle. Make sure you've got contact through both reins. That's better in your outside rein. Good. Looking at your poles. Now remind her about rhythm. Remind her. Slow. Good. Half halt and leg yield. It's good, Ren. Keep going, keep going. You let it go too quickly, okay? You had some really good steps and then it kind of faded into nothing there. Circle. We'll try that again up from that end. So once you have those good sideways steps, you need to keep every step like that to the wall. Good. Oh, okay, so find your straight line there, and then you're going to do your other leg yield. So you can just time it to go straight, and then over to the wall, every step. Half halt and over. Good. Excellent. So see on this next leg yield how efficiently you can get to the wall. Right? We want her to have a fairly steep angle getting across to the wall, enough so that she's crossing her legs. Better, Ren. Better finish on your part that time. Okay, let's change rein. We're going to do both sides of the ring in the leg yield again. So on this side, you can turn in front of the blue jump, inside the blue jump, and then leg yield over to the clock. That's going to insist that your angle is there, because we're not going to go past those gates. You're going to go sideways to the clock. Working trot rhythm. Straightness first. You just need a little more trot, Ren. Other than that, I think you're good to go, right? Look inside the blue jump. Trot onto that straight track. And then leg yield over. Yeah, lovely. There we go. And there she's in a nice, quiet, submissive way of going, right? Her expression stayed soft. She was willing to accept your aid, and she yielded right away to the aid. That was perfect. So now turn, circle one more time, and then Ren, you're going to turn between the cones and the jump, coming straight towards me, and then do the leg yield all the way to the wall. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for riding. Yeah, thank you. Straightness on your outside rein. Good, Ren. Could you feel there at the beginning? We'll do one more of those. At the very beginning, she kind of turned her head in and got a little like, with you. Right? And you just need to make sure that you've started on a straight line, you're feeling both your reins, and you're keeping this outside rein as you go over. A lot of riders, this is a hard habit, a lot of riders really want to pull on that inside rein in the leg yield, and it just makes a kink in the hose and makes it that much harder. So think about riding from your inside leg over into your outside rein contact. Yes, really good, Ren. Really good. Okay, walk and praise her. Good stuff. So huge improvement there, right? And it was about switching gears from having her in a resistant mode to an accepting mode, right? And before we, go to jumps, we need to make sure they're willing to accept the aids, right? So it doesn't matter what your discipline is, those basics are the same. Yielding to pressure, right? If you push here, she should step over. Right? Just like you would expect her in the cross ties if you asked her to step over, that she would move away from your fingertips.
Ren have a crop. Woohoo!
Yeah, he's been very good with that.
So can you tell Ren to put the leg yields as part of his warm-up routine? Because he won't listen to me.
Well, leg yield should be in every warm-up routine. And there's lots of different ways you can do them. But just the simple one of, either from the inside track to the wall, or you come out of the corner, let's say, so you're on the wall. You come out of that corner, you're on the wall, and you leg yield her in, and then go straight. And you don't need to do a bunch of them, right? Like you need to do 2 each direction that are effective. If they're not effective, obviously you don't carry on. You've got to fix it, right? You've got to make it work first. But leg yield is one of those really good tests of if your horse is listening or not, which is why we did it first today, right? It was like, okay, let's see, is she listening and moving off your leg? Oh, no, she's not. So now what do we need to do to make that happen? Okay, let's now come off the left. Now we didn't really do our right bend very well yet, did we? Oh no, you did. You did the circles here before that leg yield, and I liked that. Okay, so let's come off the left. I want you to trot in over these poles and then canter and canter down to your little jump there. Make sure you've got a landing track that's staying straight and you're looking ahead to the left through the turn. So what I don't want to see is that she's jumping the jump already turning, right? She needs to jump the jump straight and land and then make the turn. Okay. Maya, we're going to be jumping down over that jump there. Okay, so when you're at that end of the ring, make sure you're right on the wall, okay? And that way Ren can turn inside of you if he needs to make that turn. So Ren, when you're jumping, you need to stay inside of the riders on the wall, right?
Walk if you need to, Maya. Stay against the wall, remember.
Okay, so there was kind of two noticeable issues there. Name one of them. The canter strike off, absolutely, right? You asked her to canter and nothing happened, right? She just kind of went fast in the trot, and that carried on for quite a while. So the canter strike off was, let's call it soggy. Like, it wasn't, when you break a carrot and it snaps, you want that, right? You don't want the carrot that bends like that, right? Okay, so we need a crisper transition, absolutely. And then what else happened during that whole time of fast trot and then canter?
I was moving sideways.
Exactly, okay? So we had a leg yield that we didn't intend.
Right.
That ended up with you jumping the right-hand side of the jump. Okay? So back here, remember we've got this green tape on our poles to help us find center. Back here, you need to be looking ahead to the middle of the X where the green tape is, and that needs to be where you and her are pointed the whole way. Okay? Now also remember, you've got your stick there. So when you sit and ask for canter, if nothing happens, you've sat, you've asked, your leg is going to get hard to tell her to canter, and then the demand is the stick. And those three things can happen in less than a second. Right? Because she knows what the canter rate is. If you've sat, prepared, and asked her to canter, you would expect that that would be an instant response. Okay, so let's get a good trot back and we'll set that up again. Now make her a little more forward off your leg here as well. The bend is looking okay, but she's looking a little soggy, right? And remember, we want to have that crisp canter transition after the trot pulls. Okay, carry on to your pulls. So here you've checked in that she's awake. You're now keeping rhythm. Look down to the green tape in the middle. Good. Good, Ren. I was happy to see you correct your diagonal there. Okay, just walk a second. That was loads better. Let me put this jump up a bit. And I want to see that same good, clean canter transition. And you were better in the transition and the straightness. Okay, so you cleaned up both parts. So that was good to see. Okay, Ren, we're going to do our same line. And if you like it, I want you to keep cantering. And then canter down over this green box. As long as it's safe and Maya's not, here, you can halt straight after. If, however, she lands on the right lead, I'm going to tell you to keep going because I'm so happy that she landed on the right lead. And then we're going to circle. So here, you're ready for either option. You're looking at the wall straight in front of you. You're going to land and recover your position, and then you're either making a turn or you're halting straight. So plan A is to halt straight. If she's on the right lead, hopefully you feel it, but I will say to you to keep going. Okay? I love that canter, Ren. Now, could you feel when she jumped, you were just a little over your hands? Make sure here that your hands are out in front of you. Reins are short enough. Keep going. Awesome. Good girl. She's getting better and better landing on that right lead. Wonderful, Ren. Okay, trot and bend and walk when you like the trot. Good, I agree. Excellent. Good girl. And I like to see your leg on firmly here. Could you feel her switch her lead? No? Okay. So it's something you're going to develop over time, right? But in the air, you'll start to feel which leg is coming out first. So she took off left leg first. Right leg came up, right leg switched over to the landing leg. Okay? So basically the jump is your lead change. Okay? Awesome. Okay, we're going to change what we're doing a bit. So just keep her walking. Good.
can you maybe get Ren going too on the posting canter for his warm-up? Just so he kind of, it's another thing in his little repertoire.
Yep. Yeah, it's, I'm of two minds about the posting canter. It is something that you know, it's good to know how to do it.
Yep.
I certainly post the canter sometimes myself. I feel like sometimes it's a cheat. So I don't, yeah. You know, it's something you can learn how to do, but when you will do it is not going to be that often, and I would hate for you to start doing it all the time. And that's my personal opinion. So the posting the canter is a really useful thing for endurance riders, people who ride long stretches across country, get really tired. It's just like posting the trot compared to sitting the trot, it's easier for us, right? It's just easier. Yeah. So when I consciously post the canter is sometimes on a horse who's uptight. So there might be moments where that would help her. Like on my horse, he gets boxed up and he gets like cantering like this, right? And sometimes if you post the canter, it just encourages them to relax their back and to start to stretch. The reason I'm not a huge fan of posting the canter is because I feel in myself that sometimes when I post the canter, it's like, really, I just need to keep my leg on, and it's a cheat of like, it's getting too hard and I'm just gonna stand up and make it easier for myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something you can learn to do, but it's certainly, if you were investing your time in your warm-up, it's not something I would do very often. You know, like if she comes out a little uptight, maybe you do that a lap around just to get her to relax and blow her nose, and then you get into more working work. Okay, so we'll do posting the canter not now, but another time, because it's not really going to help us with what we're doing right now, but it is something that we could certainly do for a warm-up routine. And just to clarify, I mean, in the jumpers, we see people posting the canter all the time, and I do it myself, and lots of my students do it. And it's not, I don't mean to make it sound evil, but it's just not a priority to learn. It's something that's pretty natural to do as a stress reliever for horse and rider. So we can learn how to do it, and then once you know how it's like learning to post, you know, aside from maybe thinking about your hip angle or that kind of thing, once you know how to post, you know how to post. Exactly. And there's, you know, so many different styles in riding, and you can have a rider ride, you know, like a Lidger Beerbaum who rides very upright, very deep-seated, reins long, hands back, and is as good as anybody in the world. And you can have a rider like Rich Fellers who almost never uses the saddle, right? He's like here and so forward and so light and so fast, and he's as good as anyone in the world, right? So for most of us, we try to find something that works efficiently in the middle so that, you know, it's harder if you make a mistake. I find it's harder if you're at an extreme, right? Same like our position. But both those men are incredibly well balanced, incredibly athletic, and are able to jump huge jumps successfully and make all those tight turns and everything else that we do as jumpers, even though their styles are polar opposite. The important thing, according to George Morris, is to have a system. You need to have a system and stick with it, right? Because there's so much information out there, and there's so much, like I said, you could learn this system or you could learn that system, and either one of them is right, as long as you're systematic and you do your homework and you actually learn, you know, learn what the whole system is about.
Could you do both? Like in between stuff and jumps, certain jumps, you can
Absolutely.
forward on like a long stretch and then go
Absolutely. You know, and our friend Brian is a good example of that, right? If you watch Brian ride, generally he sits pretty upright. You'll see him post the canter sometimes between his jumps, but generally he's pretty upright, and then he's very with the horse and forward over the jump, and so he kind of straddles both styles a bit. And he's certainly a fast and efficient character when he's in the jump off, right? Yeah, absolutely. And if you think of a good 3-day event rider, the challenge with being a good 3-day event rider is you have to do 3 different styles and you have to do them all extremely well. So you have to be able to ride dressage, you have to be able to get up and gallop cross country and be brave and strong and balanced, and then you have to have discipline and adjustability for your stadium. And your position is different in stadium than it is jumping cross country, right? Because your cross country course is something like 13 minutes, most of which is in galloping position like you're on a racehorse.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have so much respect for the really top 3-day event riders,
Yeah.
because you're being asked to do 3 very different disciplines on the same horse.
Like
And
Zara,
isn't that
Zara
amazing?
Phillips, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I need to watch more. I mean, I'm generally out of the loop with, I just want to watch more riders, but it's amazing to me just thinking how hard we work to master one discipline. And of course, I've kind of straddled and had my foot in a bit of everything, and I'm trying to stay focused and stick to a system and stick to one discipline and try to learn how to do it. Okay. Too much talking, so let's canter a circle. You're going to canter this jump. Left hand oval is going to take you out by the mounting block and between those gates to jump the little blue and white and black boxer. Okay, so that's 1 through the gates to 2. And then you're going to go 3 through the gates. Actually, no, I'll have you do this. I had my last rider do this. So 3, and then I want you to halt in between the gates. So you've landed, recovered your position. You've come onto the curve, but now you're halting straight through these gates. Okay? 1, 2, 3, halt. Yes. Nice, Ren. Good job. Left bend. Come on. It's okay. Just sit quiet. Don't make her panic. Just gently back up. Good. She thought about going, and you were doing the right kinds of things, right? Trying to get her there, but you had to do too much to make it work, right? And then she's like, I think I should stop. Just back her up a little bit more so that you can trot over it. And as you trot over it, you're going to have your hands wide and your legs really making it clear to her where she needs to go. Okay, shorten your reins a bit. Look up. Hands wide. Good. Good. Now circle, and let's jump 1 and 2 again. Look over your shoulder. Whoops. Okay, stretching tall. Make sure that she's on the bend, on the program, not pushing into you, not pulling through you. Right? This is where your circle, you're loosening her up, you're making sure she's listening. Good. Good, this is lovely. You can canter anytime. That looks great. Good, now be determined, looking at your jump and riding this canter beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Good, and she's jumping fabulous out of that deep spot. Rhythm. Maya, go right in the corner, okay? Good job, Ren. Thank you, Maya. Perfect. Okay, not too bad. Now I'm not at the best angle to see the halt. I'll move for next time. Let's come jump this again and do the halt. And I think you did quite well there, Ren. From the back, it just looked like your reins had gotten maybe a little long and your elbows were a bit far back. Okay, just come jump this one and I'm going to watch your position in the halt again. Whoa. Halt, halt. No, I don't think it was either. Good, and stand quiet. Good, let's turn left and we'll do that again. Now before we go there, make a quiet circle. I think what happened is she got a little bit anxious and she wanted to get it over with. And she's like, okay, I'm just gonna run at it. So that was her changing the plan. Now, we need you to be a little bit on top of the plan this time, that she may do the same thing and you're just being proactive about riding the rhythm. Okay, so you're gonna circle and set the rhythm, use a little more space to get to this jump, use all the space you have, right? And then just, this is the rhythm, this is what we're doing. Just like in the leg yield, how you had to slow her down before it worked. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Let me get back where I can see this halt again. How are you? I'm well, thanks. So just a little shorter reins, Ren, right? Make sure you're keeping that straight line to her mouth. Hi.
Oh, I was wondering what was on your arm.
I'm mic'd right now.
Oh,
Beautiful. Okay, so there you were on top of it and she stayed trusting of what you were asking for. Okay, good. And walk on with a long rein and then we'll put our course back together again after she gets her little reward here. Okay, so we're going to put our course back together again. But we're going to add, so now instead of the halt, because I liked the last couple halts there, and this was lovely. So now we're going to add, you're going to just canter through the gates now, and then you're jumping the little gate jump. Now this is mentally a test for her because it's different looking and it's off a short turn, right? She's going to have to cope with it, kind of like how she had to cope with that when she wasn't sure what it was. Okay, so straight here. You don't want to turn early to this gate. You need to have her looking at it, and then your outside leg is getting the job done to get to it. Okay, you've already got both legs on, but the outside leg is going to get this turn done and complete it over the jump. Okay, then I want you to land and make a left-hand turn again. Use your space. You're going to do a roll back and come back down the line through the gates and over that barrel jump. So anytime we have something like this where you've got a long straight line to a jump, it's very enticing for the horses to get carried away with their canter. And it's very enticing for the riders to try to change things too much. You've got all that time to think about your jump, right? Which sometimes is not a good thing. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, there's some incredible riders who can do that. So my point here is through the turn and as you get straight, you need to make sure that your canter is regulated and rhythmic and that she's not getting faster and you're not changing it too much, right? That you're just saying, okay, this is the canter I want and it's still the canter I want all the way to the jump. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, through the gates, 4, turn left, 5 to finish, and then circle to finish. Shorten your reins a little, Ren. Especially here, like when she's fussing and her head is up, right? You need to have that contact to help her feel comfortable, to help things get more stabilized. Legs to contact, legs to reins. That's better. Okay. Come on, make sure you like your canter. Good decision to circle. Start to plan ahead. Good. Stick with your rhythm. Make sure you're not pushing her at the jump. Lovely. What a good girl. Patience. Good job, Ren. Look. Good job, Ren. Okay, really praise her up. She made such good efforts everywhere. You know, it's amazing the difference in her jump, eh? Like, she's now jumping so much more athletically. Can you feel that? Like, the awkward one she had there used to be her normal jump, right? And now she's jumping like, right? Yeah, very cool. And I loved your patience here on the straight lines to this. Good. Good girlie. Yes. And nice to have those lead changes coming so nicely, hey? Where, like in your bending line, she just gives you the lead change and carries on.
She's almost a schoolmaster.
She's almost broke.
No, I'm almost broke.
Yeah, me too. Believe me. I was thinking the other day what my life would be like if I hadn't had a horse this whole time. You know, kept a horse all through university and kept a horse all through everything else and still trying to keep a horse while I go back to school again. I'm like, huh. Oh well.
Well, try it with 4 children and a horse, plus 3 ponies.
I'm trying, but I can't afford 4 children because I have a horse. No children allowed.
Yeah, you get the children first, then you get the horses.
Oh, maybe that's what I should do. Except I really like the horse I have now, right? So all logic and reason says I should sell Ray.
Yeah.
But he's the best horse I've had, and I want to keep him. So Ren, just a thought about this jump here is that if you were to do it again, what I would say could have helped is you just needed that outside leg to get stronger earlier, right? Like you need your last few strides here to have that left leg really on. You need both legs, especially the left leg. Okay. So what to do is to support. right? And because it was almost like the canter was fading when it needed to be energized and directed. And it's not, you don't need speed to jump this jump, but because it's coming off a tight turn, you need to have some forward. You need to have some direction. And then the thing is that energy is directed with your outside leg to make her straight. Okay, I'm not going to make this one much bigger. I'm just going to add a little rail on top. We're going to do our same course again. And just working on, well, with the jumps a bit bigger, just working on still keeping her just as rideable, right? Still sticking to that good canter everywhere. Okay, Ren. What's that?
Go.
Yeah, go ahead. Same course. Ren, let's have you just make your circle, like I would come through the middle of the ring now to get your canter, especially with the jump. It's not big, but it's big enough now that I think it would be better for her just to have a little more space to get organized, right? The tight circle is one thing, like if you already have the canter and then you do the tight circle as a balancer. But to start there, I feel like you're too apt to get her stuck there, right? Or she's just cantering like this. So use half the ring, get your canter going. Then if you need to get her attention or check in with your bend, you can do it with the small circle. Don't have to, that depends how she feels. Come to your jump, okay? So think about using half the ring to come to this jump. Thanks, Maya. Okay. Good job, Ren. Balance, look. Look. Patient. Okay, so overall lots to like. So of course the bending line was difficult with the lead business, but you know, you're like, okay, well, I just gotta keep my legs on, do the best I can, and you did, and that was fine. The problems that I would say, sort of where things started to get away from you a little bit was through this turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the turn cuts in, she starts to scramble to keep her balance, right? Can you feel that hind legs kind of like, woo? And so she's starting to struggle a little bit through the turn, overshoot here, and then we never really had the canter you wanted to this jump, right? And it's kind of late to try to create that canter in front of your jump. We want to have that canter established, you know, by C, so that then you're maintaining what you already wanted. Okay, so we're gonna start from the green jump. We'll do this bending line again. And then here, because she's turning too quickly, I want you to look over her outside ear. Think of landing in both your feet and then pressing her out through the turn.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that you're just, instead of this turn being like a straight line and then a
Yeah.
right? You're making it land straight and then you're pressing her out. Like if you think of a roller coaster where the tracks go up like that, right? You want her to kind of go out and then make the turn, okay? And then look back here, look for those gates, right? So that back here, you know exactly where you're aiming,
Yeah.
okay? Oh, the horses are gonna be mad. I'm late turning them in. Better make it good, Ren.
Yeah, they're gonna be blaming it on Blaze tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, just walk. You're off course. Do you remember where I said I wanted you to start? What's that? You missed that? Okay. I said I wanted you to start over the green box. So we're doing the green box, the bending line, the turn, and the oxer. I like to point out when people are off course, not to, you know, embarrass you, make you feel bad, but because A, we need to figure out where the communication went wrong, like did you just not hear me, or did you hear me and then forget, or whatever, because when we go to a horse show and the pressure's on, we need to make sure that I say, okay, jump one of the jump off is the green box, that you don't go to jump one of your first round, right? Okay, off you go.
He would never do that.
And then the parents go, that coach taught him the wrong jump off. Sometimes it's my fault. It's always the student's responsibility. Oh boy.
Yeah, Ren's forgot a couple courses in his competing career.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be challenging as a coach at the Hunter Jumper shows when you've got students in the Hunter ring doing 3 different courses. In the jumper ring, usually you've got more than one jumper ring going at a time. And then you've got your own courses to remember. So it's definitely a skill that coaches are always working on too, is that ability to learn and remember and teach the right courses. Outside leg. Lovely. Look at the gates. Lovely. Good, Ren. Good job. When she's deep like that, you don't need to lean back, but make sure you stay tall as she's leaving the ground, right? Because she's got to come up like
The
this.
reason why I leaned back is I felt her doing this. She was starting to wobble.
Right.
Like the death wobble.
Right. This was great. And did you feel how you needed that outside leg and how it worked to just get her to the jump a bit better? Good. There wasn't that stall moment. Okay, very good. I think I kind of want to leave it there, but why don't we just jump this one and then back to the blue oxer. So we'll just do our fences 1 and 2 to finish. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger because she's been very good here. And because it's a skinny, there's a challenge already in the fact that it's a skinny. So I don't need to make it huge, but just to get her to finish over something that feels nice. Then I might get Shane to help me bring in a couple horses. Come on.
Why don't I put Blaze away and Ren, you can help her.
Well, there's an idea.
And you can drive back. I'll be the passenger and sleep back to Whistler. Ren, okay?
I don't know if the Sea to Sky Highway is the best, like, you know, first driving experience.
Yeah. Oh,
Although it's better than it used to be, for sure.
yeah, we had a headlight in the smart car burn out, so me and Ren this morning put some super cool, bright xenon titanium thingamajiggers in there.
Wow.
Freeze, I didn't have any socks on, and I didn't have a sweater.
What is wrong with you? Okay, ready? Quality canter. Vertical, nice big half oval, rhythm to the oxer, which is very crooked. Good, well done. She was pooping, so she needed a little help. Rhythm. Good job, Ren. Good job. Nice praise for her. Good girlie. What's that?
She's very easy to ride today.
Wonderful. Wonderful. She's had a good week.
How high are those, you think? That's 3.6, 3.3?
Just not, this is 3.3. They're probably both 3.3.
Yeah.
That one rides a little bigger because it's the skinny. And she's making a bigger effort over it. Awesome. Good stuff. So if you can just trot her for a minute or two, right? Slow, easy, serpentine-y trot.